Pacesetter Soccer Club. Soccer excellence since 1980.
Well, we are quickly approaching the end of the regular season for high school soccer. The district draws came out on Sunday. The district tournaments, sectional tournaments will begin in just a few days as we are joined by Chris Black and Danny Fisher to break down all things soccer on Sidekicks. And gentlemen, we've talked about this pretty much all season. On the boys' side, we thought it was going to come down between St. John's and Perrysburg, or St. John's and Northview. Perrysburg got the girls' #1 seed. Let's talk about the boys, though. St. John's getting the #1 seed, so they get that first round bye. Titans with that win over Northview, probably the difference between them getting the #1 seed and getting to sit back basically a full week and wait the winner of Springfield and Bowling Green in their second round matchup.
Yeah, I think that will sort of, the week off may help St. John's. They've had a few sort of injuries here and there, and I think they're getting a couple of players back now as well. So that week off will actually serve them well. And like you say, I think the victory over Northview, which was a really good game and a really good victory for St. John's, probably helped them get that #1 seed. And I think Coach McElroy will be happy for that. 7 days of rest for his players and 7 days to prepare now for the playoffs.
Wildcats get the #2 seed, so they will take on Fremont Ross next Tuesday. Chris, as you look at the Division I bracket, what jumps out to you the most on the boys' side?
Well, I think at the end of the day, the #1 thing is you got #1 and #2 seeds completely right. I don't think anyone can really think about that being an issue. I think that's a big deal for the rest of the bracket, so people could stay away from each other a little bit. And not to steal Danny's thunder, but I think we were talking about this off air before. St. Francis, Savannah Southview, he can give his opinion on it. That is an early matchup that going into the season might have thought kind of surprising, but that's going to be a fun one to see because you get St. Francis on Savannah Southview's property on a field that they like. That will be an interesting one. You could have plenty of arguments going either way on that one. But I think that's probably one of the early surprises. And also, to be fair, too, a Springfield team, they're going to get, you would think they'd get through and get St. John's early, but you think about a team like that with Trevor Talbot, one of the best players in the area. He's a guy that's going to get a goal or two maybe on anybody, so that's kind of exciting, too. You still imagine St. John's is getting through, but that's going to be kind of exciting one to watch to see what might happen in a player matchup like that.
Let's talk about Division III, Ottawa Hills. Is there any reason to think the Green Bears will be tested as they go through the first couple rounds of the postseason?
I think for Ottawa Hills, obviously they've had a season this year, another good season under Coach Bear. They've got their fair share of injuries right now. Some of them have been pretty long term. Some of them he's managed to rest the last couple of weeks, which I think will serve him well for playoffs. I would expect them to go deep again in the playoffs. They've certainly got the talent to do that. Coach Bear's a very good coach and he'll get them ready for the playoffs. So I would fully expect them to get some players back fit and get ready for the playoffs and advance pretty far.
Green Bears, of course, will have Maumee Valley on a Thursday, game we'll see right here on BCSN. Let's switch sides, talk a little about the girls. As we mentioned, Perrysburg, the #1 seed in Division I for the Northwest District. And Chris, they tied for the Northern Lakes League title this year, despite the fact that they did not give up a goal in Northern Lakes League play this year, yet they didn't win the outright title because of some ties in the standings.
Yeah, and the exciting thing for women's soccer in Northwest Ohio is the fact that there was a lot of parity in certain situations. And this NLL league came down to really the last 2 weeks. There's still 4 teams into it. Savannah Southview finally bowed out of really being in contention last week, finally. So you see all the way to the end, 3 teams, Savannah Northview, Perrysburg, as well as Anthony Wayne, all the way to the end, getting their wins today, tying at it. But like you said, Perrysburg, no goals against, which is really, really impressive. But at the same point, you think about it, they didn't score against the other top teams in the NLL too. So that's probably something that Coach Diaz and the Perrysburg side is kind of thinking about. Hey, we need to make sure we rise up and do really well against our local teams. But you also did see them going out of Northwest Ohio, even though Ashland's coming to the Northwest Ohio District for the tournament. They did really well against Ashland. They beat Magnificat out of the area. So Perrysburg definitely proved themselves outside of Northwest Ohio a little bit, which, to be fair, a lot of Northwest Ohio teams struggled with this year.
Danny, is there a matchup in that girls' Division I bracket that jumps out to you right now?
I think the Finley NDA game will be a really good game. You know, Finley with the grass field, NDA used to playing on grass field. The travel time to get to Finley, maybe the 45 minutes to an hour after school, could play different. But that's the game that really stands out to myself. Both teams are tied early on in the year at NDA, 2-2 I think it was. So this will be a really good game. I think this will go down to the odd goal and could even go all the way. So I'm really excited to see what happens in that game and looking forward to seeing that game.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Of course, we'll have much more on the sectional tournaments next week on Sidekicks as Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday postseason soccer action.